Hey Brave, welcome to our series once again called Faith Over Fear. On today's lesson we're going to be talking about stress and anxiety. Hola valientes, gracias por sintonizar una vez más esta serie llamado Fe sobre Miedo. En esta lección estaremos hablando acerca de el estrés y la ansiedad. Now, some of you may be like, I'm not going through any of those situations, so it's not for me. Well, hear me out. The American Psychological Association states that more than 24% of residents here in the United States go through overwhelming moments of anxiety. Ahora yo sé que algunos pueden decir, no, pues yo no tengo problemas en esta área. La Asociación Psicológica Americana describe que más del 24% de residentes en los Estados Unidos están pasando por momentos difíciles de ansiedad. And honestly, there's a lot of things that cause that particular subject to rise in our lives. And one of them is going to be this little device right here. Yes, it's a small device that fits in your pocket and can be easily used for a lot of things. But at the same time, this little device right here stops our lives, whether it's because of an Amber Alert, such as the one I'm getting right now, whether it could be any particular type of news that stops our well-being, that stops our lives from doing what we're doing, and just pauses our lives and gives us that uncomfortability. And in most cases, it provides a stress. It enables a stress. It enables an anxiety of worry, of living in fear. Y hay muchas cosas en la vida que pueden causar esos tipos de sentimiento en nuestras vidas. Mucho de ellos viene en un aparato así que tengo aquí ahorita en mi mano. Y justamente esta noticia que estoy recibiendo ahorita en este preciso momento indica algo que es estresante. Para muchos a lo mejor causa ansiedad, en que un niño fue robado de su hogar, que fue capturado por ciertas personas, etcétera, etcétera. Y para nuestro mundo, porque miramos una noticia mala y en muchos causa tristeza, dolor, preocupación, y llegan los precisos momentos de ansiedad. And other subjects such as your phone could be shootings, y otras cosas también que podemos mencionar que pueden causar esa ansiedad vienen siendo tiroteos.
The nation mourns the victims of two shooting massacres just 13 hours apart. The massacres in El Paso, Texas and Dayton, Ohio happened in startling proximity for a country already too familiar with gun violence. 29 people were killed in the two shooting rampages just 13 hours apart.
Terrorism, terrorismo,
which is former Soviet Union in the middle of Asia, kind of near the Middle East, not too far away. Came here on a diversity visa, actually, to the United States back in 2010. Killed 8 people yesterday, injured another 11 after he rented a truck from a Home Depot in New Jersey, drove it into the city, and then moved up onto a bike path and plowed into pedestrians and bikers just going about their day, exercising, maybe sightseeing, killing 8 people.
And political news. Y noticias políticas.
The number of cases of COVID-19 outside China has increased 13-fold, and the number of affected countries has tripled. There are now more than 118,000 cases in 114 countries, and 4,291 people have lost their lives. Thousands more are fighting for their lives in hospitals. In the days and weeks ahead, we expect to see the number of cases, the number of deaths, and the number of affected countries climb even higher. And we're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity and by the alarming levels of inaction. COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic. Pandemic is not a word to use lightly or carelessly. It's a word that, if misused, can cause unreasonable fear or unjustified acceptance that the fight is over, leading to unnecessary suffering and death.
It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle, it will disappear. And from our shores, it could get worse before it gets better. It could maybe go away. We'll see what happens. You have to be calm. It'll go away. It will go away. Just stay calm. It will go away. We need a little separation until such time as this goes away. It's going to go away. It's going to go away. It will go away. You know it is going away. And it will go away. And we're going to have a great victory. It's going to go away, hopefully at the end of the month. And if not, it hopefully will be soon after that. But I said it's going away, and it is going away.
You were saying things like, I think it's a problem that's going to go away within
Which
a couple
I'm
of
right
days.
about. It will go away. I think what happens is it's going to go away. This is going to go away. It's going to go. It's going to leave. It's going to be gone. It's going to be eradicated. And it might take longer. It might be in smaller sections. It won't be what we had.
And now, back to our regular scheduled program. Y ahora regresamos a nuestro programa. How do you say regular scheduled program? So with everything that we are seeing on the news and listening to on the radio, my question is, how do we find peace in such a chaotic world? Y ahora con todo lo que podemos ver y escuchar a través de los medios, mi pregunta es, ¿cómo podemos encontrar paz en medio de este mundo caótico? Now, one of my favorite authors writes in one of his books called Anxious for Nothing. He summarizes his finding in calm in a chaotic world, where he writes, no matter what you're going through, you can rest in the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding. Ahora, uno de mis favoritos autores que escribe en su libro Ansioso por Nada, describe el tema calma en medio de un mundo caótico. Y él escribe, no importa qué estés pasando, pero puedes tener paz en Dios que sobrepasa todo entendimiento. And we know that to be certain because we understand that when God takes control of our lives, that's when we lose our self-control. If we're controlling our own lives, not letting Him decide everything around us, then we begin to lose faith. And not because God has left us. No, it's more because we allow ourselves to become more self-dependent and forget about where we come from. When we allow God to take control, we allow Him to be the center of our lives. No more going on our own paths. We allow Him to guide us, to tell us what to do, what needs to be done in the midst of all this. Y una de las cosas que creo yo es que cuando nosotros dejamos que Dios tome el control, dejamos que Él sea el centro de nuestras vidas. And when that happens, we stay more connected to God. We find peace in the middle of everything. We find joy, love, no matter what the circumstances that we're going through. So everything that you see right now that's happening in the world, everything that we listen through the media, that becomes nothing because we have that fulfilled joy that no one can give us. Cuando dejamos que eso suceda, estamos más conectados con el Señor y experimentamos paz, gozo y amor que sobrepasa cualquier circunstancia que estemos pasando. So I want to share with you 6 ways to combat this particular subject, dealing with stress and anxiety. And the first one being that we need to rest in Jesus. By meaning, in times of stress and anxiety, we need to cast our fears at the feet of Christ. We need the warmth of His fire to survive tragedy by holding His hand, the one hand that we know that is not going to let us go in times of need. Entonces quiero compartir contigo 6 maneras de cómo combatir con la ansiedad y el estrés en este mundo caótico que estamos viviendo. Y la primera viene siendo descansa en Jesús. En tiempos de estrés y ansiedad necesitamos a veces lanzar nuestros miedos a los pies de Cristo. Necesitamos el calor de su fuego para sobrevivir tragedias y agarrándonos de la mano del Señor, sabiendo que Él no nos va a soltar, vamos a estar y vivir más confiados. The second point is let go of your control. We all want to control our worlds, but I believe this particular fixation is something that we need to let go. Casting is a biblical concept that is an intentional act to throw an object. In other words, let this throw be your first response to bad news. Cast it in the direction of Christ. Do so specifically and immediately, thus allowing Christ to govern your life with abundant grace, eliminating all thoughts that may fuel our worries and anxiety. El segundo punto es dejar ir tu control. Todos queremos tomar control de nuestro mundo, pero siento que es algo necesario que necesitamos dejar ir. Lanzar es un concepto bíblico que es intencionalmente el acto de tirar o enviar un objeto. En otras palabras, deja que este tirar o aventar sea tu primera respuesta a las malas noticias. Cuando sientas que la ansiedad brota dentro de ti, lánzalo en la dirección de Cristo. Hazlo específicamente y inmediatamente, dejando que Cristo gobierne tu vida con gracia abundante, eliminando los malos pensamientos que puedan alimentar tus preocupaciones y la ansiedad. The third point is resist fear. I want to encourage you to resist temptation, to retreat and hide. I believe this is a time of faith and more so the season of a God-based hope, trusting in the Lord and believing that He will bring safety in our lives. Remember that when you gave your life to God, He took full responsibility for you, thus making Him your shepherd. El siguiente punto es resiste el miedo. Y con esto quiero animarte a resistir la tentación de huir y esconderte. Con eso digo, con esto me refiero que este es el tiempo que nosotros vivamos en fe y la temporada de una esperanza basada en Dios, confiando en Dios y creyendo que Él va a ser y va a traer seguridad a nuestras vidas. Acuérdate que cuando le entregaste tu vida al Señor, Él tomó completa responsabilidad de ti porque Él es nuestro buen pastor. Now, another point that I want to make out is that you are not alone. It's one thing to face a challenge, but another is to believe that you face it alone. And I think that's a lie that the enemy creates in our lives to make us feel that God has abandoned us. God is not just a mere spectator of our lives. God loves us unconditionally and cares for us when things are going great, and I think possibly even more so when things are dark. El siguiente punto que quiero hacer es no estamos solos. Es una cosa enfrentar un desafío, pero creer que lo enfrentamos solos es una mentira que el enemigo crea para hacernos sentir y creer que Dios nos ha abandonado. Dios no es solo un espectador de nuestras vidas. Él nos ama incondicionalmente y se preocupa de nosotros cuando las cosas se ven buenas y posiblemente aún más cuando están oscuras. The next point is press on during tragedy. Back in November of 2017, there was a terrible tragedy that happened in a Baptist church in our great state of Texas. Now, yet again, we struggle to make sense of this act of violence that was happening during this time that took the lives of many during the Sunday service. But we're reminded of one thing that Christ tells us in the book of Matthew 10:28 concerning this brutal world. Do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. And I believe the message that we can take from this verse is that we cannot allow the darkness of fear to cloud our light. El siguiente punto viene siendo, sigue adelante durante la prueba. No sé si recuerdan, en noviembre del 2017 pasó una terrible tragedia en una iglesia bautista en el gran estado de Texas. Y nuevamente luchamos para encontrar el sentido de estos actos de violencia que estaban pasando durante este tiempo, que quitó las vidas de muchos durante este servicio dominical. Pero somos recordados de una cosa que Cristo nos dijo en el libro de Mateo 10:28 acerca de este mundo cruel, donde dice: no teman a los que quieren matarles el cuerpo, no pueden tocar el alma. Y el mensaje que podemos tomar de este versículo es que no podemos dejar que la oscuridad del miedo nuble o cubra nuestra luz. Thus brings us to our final point that helps us combat against stress and anxiety in this chaotic world, and that one is soak in God's presence. I believe one of the best advices from the Bible comes from the Apostle Paul, where he states that the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Jesus Christ. But what does that mean for us today? I believe that, yes, we should be worried, but we aren't. Yes, we should be upset, but we are comforted because the peace of God transcends all logic. And we soak ourselves in His promises that lead to tranquility, and it result in an inexplicable calm. Y así llegamos a este último punto, que nos da una revelación de cómo nosotros podemos combatir con todo el caos que está pasando alrededor de nosotros. Y viene siendo sumergirnos en la paz de Dios. Yo creo que uno de los mejores consejos de la Biblia viene del apóstol Pablo, donde dice que la paz de Dios, que sobrepasa todo entendimiento, cuidará sus corazones y sus pensamientos en Cristo Jesús. Y ahora, ¿qué significa esto para nosotros ahora en día? Yo creo que sí deberíamos de estar preocupados, pero no estamos. Sí deberíamos estar molestos, pero somos consolados que la paz de Dios sobrepasa toda lógica cuando nos sumergimos en sus promesas que nos guían a una total tranquilidad y calma inexplicable. So the next time stress and anxiety comes knocking at your heart due to frightening news, a bad relationship, or just chaotic politics, remind your heart who sits at the throne. Because the ultimate solution for all of this is trusting completely in the goodness of God. No matter the situation, God is more than able and more than willing to share His divine peace. Así que la próxima vez que el estrés y ansiedad tocan a la puerta de tu corazón debido a las noticias de los medios, malas amistades o la política caótica que estamos escuchando o vemos, recuérdale a tu corazón quién es el que está sentado en el trono. Porque la solución definitiva para todo esto es estar confiado en la bondad de Dios. No importa la situación, Dios es más que capaz y más que dispuesto está a compartir su divina paz. All right, Brave, I want to thank you for watching this next episode. I hope it's been inspiring to you as it has been for me, talking about this particular situation that we're going through. If it has been a blessing to your life, share it, repost it, however you want to do it. But share the goodness of God, and remember, stay safe, and God bless. Gracias, valientes, una vez más por sintonizar este episodio. Espero que haya sido de grande bendición a tu vida. Puedes compartirlo en todas las redes como tú quieras, si crees que este mensaje podría ayudarle a alguien más. Y gracias nuevamente, cuídense y Dios me los bendiga.
Este mensaje es patrocinado por Red Bull.
No se crean.
This message is brought to you in part by Red Bull, where I can't even point to. Right there, right, wait. There.
Hey guys, and welcome one more time to our series. How's it called again? Line? Hey guys, welcome again. Hey guys, welcome again to our series called Faith Overseas. I mean, that's not right. Wrong. Hey guys, welcome again to our series. Hey guys, and welcome to today's Faith Over series. I mean, that's not right. So, something like that.